I saw this post pop up on my feed and there was a ton of discussion around it. Mostly positive, but some quite negative and pessimistic. I'm not saying this is the best style ever, but if you've looked at a photo like this and thought you'd like to give it a go but don't know how, then keep watching. Because today I'm going to go through all the reasons that are probably stopping you from dressing like this, and some of them aren't that obvious. You aren't paying enough attention to the smaller details. First up, it's possible that you aren't paying enough attention to the smaller details. Outfits like this might look like they've been haphazardly thrown together, but that's usually not the case. There's usually a lot more thought that goes into them. Using this specific example, look at the pleats on the pants. Pleats are often overlooked, especially in modern outfits. They were really popular in the 80s and 90s, but fell out of favour when everything became really sleek and streamlined in the 2000s and beyond. Some people might not necessarily notice them at first, but they do make a difference, slightly elevating the entire outfit from basic to something more considered. Also, look at the belt, another commonly overlooked accessory in many modern fits. Not only does it serve the purpose of getting that perfect fit around the waist, but it's creating that visual separation between top and bottom, which is so important. Without it, the outfit wouldn't look half as good. Pun intended, if that even was one. Speaking of accessories, the watch. Again, small but impactful, especially in outfits like this, which borders between smart and casual. It just adds a bit of class. And there's some other small details to pay attention to as well. The shirt is unbuttoned, just enough to make it look casual and easygoing, but not too much that it looks obnoxious. Also, the sleeves, rolled up just below the elbow, adding to that casual vibe, keeping this from being something you'd wear purely to the office, into something that could easily be worn casually when out with friends or family. All of these small details add up to have a large impact, and is definitely something that you could be overlooking in your outfits. You'll look overdressed. Another thing that's probably holding you back from dressing this way is that you think you'll look overdressed. It's a bit wild, but even fairly casual outfits like this are considered dressy these days. And that's because most people are pretty much going out in their pajamas. And yes, that is a little dig at the overwhelming popularity of matching sweatpants and hoodie sets. But it's actually no joke. I've seen many people going around in their pajama bottoms and dressing gowns. One store near me even had to put a ban on it because it was such a problem. So yeah, when you go out dressed in a shirt and pleated pants, it can actually make you feel a little overdressed, which is kind of sad when you think about it. Not too long ago, it was completely normal to make sure you looked presentable when going out. I'm not saying we need to go back to the 1950s when everyone was wearing suits, but general standards do seem to have gone down over the years. Don't forget, you can easily add small touches to make it more casual as well, like a baseball cap on top or some sneakers on feet. But in my opinion, we should normalise putting in a bit of effort again. And honestly, for the most part, people will react very positively when you turn up in a well-considered outfit. Don't let its perceived dressiness prevent you from wearing it. You're not overcooking it, everyone else is undercooking. You think it'll cost too much. A common misconception about this type of look, and this was one of the top comments on the original post, is that people think it will simply cost too much. And this thought process is probably connected to the previous point about it feeling dressy. Due to it having that slightly smarter look about it, a lot of people automatically think that it will cost a lot to replicate. The reality is, these types of outfits can be replicated extremely cheaply, cheaper than most high street stores actually. And the way to do it is to start by looking for second-hand clothes. Not even necessarily vintage, just clothes that have been previously worn. The shirt he's wearing can be found in almost any charity shop or thrift store. I'm not sure of the brand because there's no logo, but I would hazard a guess that it's 100% cotton and on the slightly heavier weight side. If you don't want to go out shopping for it, then look on eBay, Depop or Vinted. Old Ralph Lauren shirts from the 90s and early 2000s look exactly like this, and I've picked many up for as little as £5. For the pants, again, do a search on the second-hand sites for a pleated trouser. You'll be surprised how many pop up. You'll likely find Ralph Lauren being one of the top hits again with their Andrew pants. If you really don't want second-hand, then I'd look at places like Spear and Mackay. They do excellent value shirts and trousers, which will get you this exact look. The only thing you need to be sure about is fit, which we'll talk about next. Your clothes don't fit you properly. Alright, another thing which is no doubt stopping you from dressing like this is that your clothes don't fit you properly. A key part of why this and many other of your favourite outfits look so good is not necessarily due to the individual pieces being amazing. Don't get me wrong, that sometimes can be the case, but more often than not, it's because the person wearing them knows what fits and suits them, and they have gone out and bought the right types of clothes for that purpose. In this particular outfit, the guy is wearing everything exactly how they were designed to be worn. The shirt is relaxed, draping naturally over the body. He hasn't sized up to make it look bigger. This is how it was made to look. Simply taking a regular sized shirt and buying a size or two up to achieve that oversized look can work, but it will often just look too big for you because the proportions are all wrong. And speaking of proportions, those pants are very deliberately cut. They're high-waisted, meaning they sit up higher on the body than regular pants, around his natural waistline. Not only is this more comfortable for the wearer, but by creating that divide at your waistline, you're proportioning your outfit into 1/3 on top, 2/3 on bottom. This slightly off-center visual break is very flattering for your physique. It elongates the appearance of your legs and overall is just much more pleasing to the eye. And of course it's emphasized by the use of a belt. But apart from that, the pants just clearly fit him very well too. There's no bunching up around the waist, he hasn't cinched the belt really tight to keep them up, and he's not spilling out the sides either. Clearly he knows his measurements. And if you know yours, it will enable you to easily put together and wear outfits like this. You're confused about your style. Something else that might be stopping you from dressing this way is that you're still confused about your style. The best looking outfits out there are often the most cohesive, meaning all the pieces complement each other, both in the type of aesthetic they're given off and the way they're cut. The guy in the original photo is very much honed into one kind of preppy style, and this makes him look really put together, like he knows what he's doing. If you're still a little lost on what you like, then this will be reflected in the things you wear. You might be wearing a random assortment of different things which don't make much sense together. And that's totally fine, by the way. It takes everyone a bit of time to find their personal style. And some people change their style a number of times. That's totally normal. Also, it can of course work mixing and matching different styles of clothes. It will just be a little bit more difficult to pull off, which is why most people just limit themselves to one style. It's too much effort. Last up, you might have listened to everything I've just said and thought to yourself, this sounds like too much effort. And you're not alone. Fashion can be overly complicated and very unapproachable. So it's no surprise that a lot of people just stick to the same comfortable thing time after time. And while there's nothing wrong with that, it's a shame to not give it a go because when you get it right, it feels amazing. And that's what I'm here for. And there's many other great channels on YouTube as well, which I've detailed in one of my previous members videos. So if you want more tips like I've given in today's video, then feel free to follow along. So, what's stopping you from dressing like this? Well, it could be a number of things, but it's certainly not out of reach. In fact, anyone can dress like this if they really want to. I'd love to know your thoughts on the subject, do let us know down in the comments below. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.